to start another.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Home Position, the podcast where we talk about all things Formula One from the various positions of our rooms at home. We are your hosts, Javier and Leslie Rodriguez. Javier, give the video a wave. There he is in the background.
Hey everybody.
So yeah, we are ready to talk about the Austrian Grand Prix. Nice resurgence of Leclerc back on the podium, taking first place for the first time since April. Half a good weekend for Ferrari, fully great weekend for Mercedes.
Maybe.
Third and fourth after how they placed in the sprint.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Best weekend for Haas.
Best weekend for Haas. Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
congratulations to Mick.
Out of all the teams there, like Gunther is fucking killing it.
That meme was amazing of him as like Top Gun.
Yeah. All his sacrifices are paying off. I mean,
I tell you,
the dude. I mean, if somebody hustle in Formula One, it's Gunther.
It is Gunther Steiner. He definitely paid his dues, and it is coming to fruition. The cows are coming home for him, which is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a sprint weekend.
Yeah, it was a really fun weekend. But first of all, it's in Austria at the Red Bull Ring, so it was a big weekend for Red Bull, just like a homecoming kind of thing.
And they have been dominant there since we started racing there.
They've destroyed everybody, and I think last year Verstappen won by like 30 seconds ahead. Now it's a really fast kind of like, I don't think the laps are very long. It's like a minute lap.
Yeah, they're quick. There were 70
it's super quick.
laps.
So like, yeah, there's so many laps. So like the cars ahead, like they end up lapping like everybody. I think last year Verstappen lapped like whoever was on fourth. I mean, it was sound like crazy.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of traffic always.
Yeah, lots of traffic. So like the cars that are behind, they were always kind of creating trouble because traffic.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, beautiful place.
It was
cool,
gorgeous. Super
cool track because like of the altitude changes, like they're going up the hill and down the hill. So and the atmosphere in general, Verstappen has a huge like grandstand just for him. Everybody's like cheering for him. You have the big bull statue in the top. Like it's really cool. I think it's a really nice track.
It is. It's fun to watch, and I think there were 60,000 fans that traveled from Holland to
crazy.
Austria for. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So and then just also having the sprint, then you have I wish every race was a sprint race. I know that it's a big toll on the teams. It's not easy because you have practice race. It just
and so much more of a chance for crashing, as we saw.
Yeah, exactly. Things going wrong. So but for us as spectators, it's really fun. There's a lot of real racing and
there's
points.
2 races.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were just watching Julian Palmer's post-race analysis, and he spends like 10 minutes talking about the sprint, and then he starts talking about the Grand Prix. I'm like, oh my God. We're just now getting to the Grand Prix.
Right. So, I mean, good race. Really fun. So yeah, like you said, Ferrari, I guess they finally did it in terms of getting a decent strategy, sticking to it and making it work. There were moments, I think, that when we were watching that we were like, why are you not pitting Leclerc? Just go. Like you're just letting Verstappen get closer.
It wasn't great strategy. They didn't mess it up.
Yeah. But at the same time, Ferrari had the reliability problems. It was a 1-2 for sure. And then Sainz, engine just exploded, which take us to the kind of like what the hell moment of the race, like how the stewards
reacted
to it, like terribly.
That was really strange. They just weren't there. The marshals.
The marshals,
There weren't any. There was like one guy.
Yeah, and not to like, I mean, they're trying to do their jobs, but like for some crazy reason, you have a car on fire and there is one guy. Then there is another guy that I understand. So if you watch the race, it's kind of funny. There's a lot of memes about it. There's this one steward who is like kind of quickly walking towards the car with his little fire extinguisher, and then at some point he just puts it down and turns around, like he's not even close to the car. He's like, fuck it, I'm out of here,
not my job.
Yep. I read about it a little bit, and apparently that one marshal kind of got destroyed on the internet, obviously, and they made a little statement saying like that one guy got called to go get a wedge so they could stop the car. So I think there was a lot of miscommunication in there. But anyways, it's just
we
crazy.
Only see what we see. We don't actually know what's going on.
Yeah, we're not hearing the communication, but still, when you watch the video, there is only one marshal trying to help Sainz get out of the car, stop the car, and get the fire off. Like, anyway.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
The bigger mess is Sainz's car now. So
yeah, so I mean, he was on his way to pass Verstappen. I mean, he was going to pass him in the next couple of corners for sure. I mean, he was coming, and that ruined Ferrari's 1-2, which also,
and that would have been a fun battle to see.
Oh yeah, and overall in the whole standings, I mean, Ferrari lost a ton of points because Perez had to retire. So I guess you could also call it just a lucky break for Red Bull, or unlucky for whichever way you see it.
It goes both ways. So one team's bad luck is another team's good luck.
Right, exactly. So. But Leclerc would have cut down the advantage, or like the space between him and Verstappen on the overall race a little bit more, because
winning the race, he only cut it by 6 points because Verstappen won the sprint, so he came away with
and he got the fastest. Didn't he get the fastest lap? So I mean, he didn't cut it very much. He was gonna potentially finish third if Sainz cars didn't explode. But anyways,
that was definitely too bad. It was I don't know. All of these DNFs this season have really denied us a lot of good racing. I think I've come to expect a car failure in every race.
Yeah, closer to the end of the race, there's always something going on.
Yeah.
But even with that battle at the front, which Leclerc and Verstappen have 3 good moments where
great.
There was some good racing and battling, so it was good. But even on the back, I mean, there was throughout the race, there was
at one point was it this race or was it Silverstone? No, it was this race where there were 5 cars.
Yeah, all coming at each other, like 2 Haases and a McLaren, and maybe one of the Mercedes. Alpine, Ocon. So it was fun. There was a lot going on. I mean, if you go back, so you see, so we ended up with Leclerc finishing first, Verstappen second, Hamilton getting a podium, which was really good, because he has a very early accident with Gasly, right?
Right.
So So luckily he didn't lose his tire, so he was able to continue the race.
And
then
the sprint where Russell had to swap out his. No, it was the Grand Prix where Russell had to swap out his front.
Yeah, it was a Grand Prix. And then he came back to 4th. That was good. Ocon finished 5th. He was really happy with that. And then you have the Haases, Schumacher finishing 6th, which is his best finish back to back from the week before. Behind him was Magnussen right behind him?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was Schumacher, Magnussen, so it went 6, 7, then oh goodness, I should just have it out.
Yeah.
I know Alonso's in 10th.
Alonso's in 10th and he scored points. So yeah, there's somebody else in there. But maybe Norris and Ricardo should have been somewhere there. I think they both
wind up in the points.
Maybe. anyways, well, you're gonna check it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it right now.
So even with that, I mean, the midfield battles and the racing was real fun to see. The other crazy thing about this one,
Schumacher, Norris, Magnussen, Ricardo.
okay, yeah, all right, so they were in between. The crazy thing about this race as well was the amount of penalties and exceeding track limits.
Yes.
Just crazy.
It was constant. Why is it? What is it about this track?
Well, I guess I know that a lot of the drivers were having trouble because they were going downhill, and at the end of the hill you have a curve, so they tend to go wide, depending on kind of how their braking is. So again, it's a fast track.
There
so
are tight corners too. The turns are not wide; they're tight corners.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that, but
yeah, a lot of 5-second penalties being thrown around because of the exceeding track limits, and then also running other drivers wide off the track.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of that. Unfortunate race for Perez because he had who did he touch?
Contact with Russell in the very beginning. That's why Russell had to have his front wing changed.
Right, and that just ended Perez's race. He tried to stay, but at one point Verstappen was lapping him, and it was kind of funny to see. At one point, if you're kind of lost during the race and you're like, what the hell are the two? Why are they? They're not ahead. Like, how did they get in front?
We were like, is he gathering data for them, or are they just trying to like run both Red Bulls because all the Red Bull fans are there? Like, why is he still?
Or just slow down the guy coming behind, just pick up more penalties. Who cares?
Yeah, that was
yeah, but at some point, once they realized that they were not even in contention for points, they just retired the car.
And it was pretty awesome to see Russell climb back his way back up, even though he had to come in for an extra stop to get his, although that was during the safety car when he got to change out his front wing.
Yeah,
he did get a 5-second penalty, so he had to serve the penalty and then get his wing changed and then go back out.
Yeah,
but to end in fourth.
Yeah, so I think now with this, it's making it kind of makes up for the bad luck of Ferrari, even though they had a little bit of bad luck, but I guess Leclerc's bad luck, and kind of hopefully they get momentum to continue to fight for the title. So it doesn't, I mean, Verstappen is still really good, but hopefully he doesn't escape too much. So there is tension, so there is competition.
Leclerc is so good. He's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's all of these DNFs and bad strategy is just making it very difficult to watch his season because he could have so many more points.
And again, he also at the end of the race, his car was breaking down, his throttle wouldn't go down to zero. So I was reading about it, and apparently it's really difficult to brake and turn if your throttle doesn't go down to zero pretty much. And his wasn't. So he was having to fiddle with the pedals trying to get his car to turn the corners. And he had that for several laps at the end.
Yeah, it was at least 7 laps at the end where he was messing with that, and we were just like, no!
Every time he talked on the radio, he's like, "Bye."
Don't tell me. Yeah, it was really tense right there at the end, and it was fun to see that he could win a race not being on pole. It's not like he got away at the beginning and was untouchable. He actually fought for it. He had to pass Verstappen 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
So it was a really worthy win. It was fun to watch, and I'm hoping that it turns things around for him as we go forward.
Yeah, I'm hoping too. And again, the midfield battle heats up quite a bit. Haas is surprisingly up there, and they are saying they haven't updated their car. So the upgrades are coming for them in Hungary, not even France. So they have France and then Hungary, and then they go into the break. So one race before the break, they're bringing their upgrades, and they're doing fine.
And they were saying somebody was interviewing Mick. Was it Will Buxton in the post-race show where he was interviewing Mick Schumacher, and he was saying that maybe it's an advantage not to have all of these upgrades because you get really comfortable in your car. I mean, it's basically practice at the beginning of the season before the races start. You only get so much time with your car, and now here they are halfway through the season. The car hasn't changed at all, so they're just extremely comfortable in this, with what in the setup that they have.
Yeah, it could be,
instead of constantly tinkering with it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he is comfortable with the car now, so yeah, it's it's fun.
He's not exactly like a shining star like George Russell or Leclerc, Verstappen, that young generation. He's not, I wouldn't say he's at that level, but he's definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's up and coming, and he's younger than them, I would think, right?
I don't think he's that much younger.
But I mean, he's driving for not a really good team,
right?
So, I mean, now granted, Russell was in a very crappy team, but he was still getting his results and kind of showing that he had a lot of potential.
I think it was kind of clear that you could see the difference in the racecraft between the two of them. Just not that I know so much about racecraft, but it seemed like it was more fun to watch.
You know your racecraft.
I try.
You should see Leslie driving our Mazda. She just like
I am smooth.
Hits the apex perfectly every time.
Masterclass on apex.
Never lock a tire.
No.
Just perfection.
Yeah. I know how to baby those tires so I don't have any tire degradation over the course of my travel.
Overtakes safely, catches the slipstream every time. It's really amazing.
That's just how I roll, baby.
Yeah. Racecraft.
And on that note, anything else about this race?
There was controversy about fans being really bad. Apparently, they were kind of being fairly abusive, especially to female staff. So there was I think the FIA and Red Bull as well made statements, and some drivers kind of raised their voices about it and asked for things to change. So
shitty people.
Vettel had a cool helmet with Save the Bees.
Yeah.
So that was good. If you guys want to know before the races about design, we have our in-house wicked design expert Marissa, who's always sharing. Whenever she has the time, I guess she shares any livery or helmet art that comes new for the upcoming race, and whenever she posts, we share. So
so give us a follow.
It's
really F1,
and subscribe to this channel. Smash it.
Smash that button.
You gotta tell people, right? Otherwise they won't do it.
That's exactly right.
Subscribe. Yeah. Follow.
It's like Vettel with the bees.
Save the bees. Save at home position.
And was there any news? There's rumors about Ricardo.
I don't know how substantial those are. I mean, I think a lot of the speculation was because I mean, there is this one NASCAR guy from the United States that was testing an F1 car this coming weekend because the weekend is off, and he's not gonna get an F1 drive right away. I mean, if he comes to it.
I know his name is not Oscar Pistorius, but that's always what I think. What's the guy's name?
Yeah. I mean,
there's also rumors about him.
There's definitely talent that could take a seat if a driver is not performing, and Ricardo is definitely not performing to what he's expected to. But also
the points this weekend.
Yeah, but to be fair, the McLaren car is crap. I mean, Norris is not doing great either.
Yeah,
he's doing better, but he's not that
He's not doing like he was last year. Last year he was really. I mean, he was getting podiums and he was always up there in the top 4, top 5.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see.
I think they just are hunting for a story on the edge of silly season.
Yeah. But I mean, again, it will be interesting to see if there are any changes on lineups for the coming year.
Yeah. Was there any other news in the paddock? Anything else to share?
No, I mean, right now they're, they go to France. As I say, they go to France and then Hungary, and then they're going on the summer break.
We're off this weekend.
Right. One weekend off. Yeah. We can rest. We've been stressed.
I mean, yes.
these races just take all our
They take
energy.
it out of us.
I get back to work on Monday and I'm just destroyed. I don't know what to do.
Poor us. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's all we have. Again, super fun race in Austria.
Yeah. It's crazy coming off of Silverstone. Silverstone was such an incredible race. And then like this was also a super fun one, but just compared to the week before, it was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, but I feel that it also like I forget quickly.
Yeah.
You know, like once the next race is coming in, like that's it. Like the past race sure was fun, but it's past. Who cares? You know. Like, it's nice to feel that emotion during the race.
Yeah. It was very fun to watch this one. As Ferrari fans, fun to see, 2 weekends in a row, Ferrari wins.
Yeah, it's like the first time in several years that Ferrari has been able to do a back-to-back win. So
it's like you still can't celebrate it completely.
No.
Because of all the things that have been happening, but it was a good one.
Yeah.
I saw something that was like in the last 5 races, Leclerc has only scored 2 points more than Hamilton.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway,
really,
that says a lot about Hamilton, I think, and it says a lot about Ferrari.
I mean, I think it's really remarkable how Mercedes has been able to stay in competition, because I mean they're right there.
They are. I think it could make next year really fun if they
or
can
after the break.
If they can figure out whatever's wrong with their car.
Yeah.
And make it like 3 teams that are competing for that top spot instead of just 2. Like it would be amazing.
Well, I mean, if the reliability of Ferrari continues to be a problem, and same for Red Bull.
Yeah.
I mean, Mercedes they don't have the car to fight for wins right now.
But they've been consistent.
Exactly. They continue to finish up there. Who knows?
Yeah. Yep. Who knows?
It's like long season.
It is a long season. We're only halfway through. Although we have finally hit that halfway mark.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to reach out to us, you can email us homepositionf1@gmail.com or reach out to us on Twitter or Instagram at homepositionf1. That's pretty much all we got.
Yeah, hit us up if you want to be part of the podcast. We are welcoming guests.
Yes. Email us
if you feel like chatting, we can
we'll
chat.
Send you a Zoom link.
And smash the subscribe button and follow the podcast on
and
Apple.
Rate us.
And rate us and give us comments and
as we cough into your ears.
Yeah, but it's virtual, so we're COVID-free people, so it's okay.
Yep. It's all good.
we just ate some Mexican torta with jalapenos on it, and I'm still like
suffering.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
See you next time.
Bye.